Hello, baby.
How are you all doing this evening? Or whatever time of the morning, afternoon, evening, or night that you're all watching this. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're feeling sexy. I hope you're feeling right. You know, whatever right is for you. I hope that's how you're feeling. For those of you who are new here, my name is Yasha. I also go by Tater the Penguin on Twitch. And I do these videos every night, and I've been doing them every night for 2 months, come through consistency. And I kind of talk about my day, and I'm just really vulnerable about stuff going on in my life because I was moved to do this. And it's kind of started my whole being online content creation journey. And so I'm thoroughly enjoying that and enjoying the little community that's developing on here. I'm having a very good time. Welcome to all of the new people who are following me, because I see that there are a couple, and that makes me so happy, like unbelievably happy, that there are people in here who are actually enjoying what I'm doing. I love that. This has been a whole process of trust, of just continuing to maintain, you know, the discipline of continuing to post things, even if I'm not seeing any, you know, I'm not getting notifications from YouTube. It's apparently been something that's been happening, is that YouTube, I don't know who would be messaging me at 2:30 a.m., but let me just turn on my do not disturb just in case. I don't know who would be, or not who would be, but it's interesting because I'm not seeing notifications on YouTube, and I've heard some other people are having issues with this. So if they sign up, why are my eyebrows so dark today? I don't know what that is. I did not wear any makeup today. My rose quartz tree. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but notifications are not popping up for people, and YouTube is not alerting people to new videos from their favorite channels and stuff like that. So I don't know what that's about. But if there's one thing that I do know, it's that wherever there is technology, there will always be technological issues. Did you drink your water today? No? If not, let's drink some water together. If you did, I'm very proud of you. Water is good for you in some form, whether it be in tea, if you're, raw dogging the water, I'm proud of you, way to go. If you put it in tea, awesome. If you put it in a mixed drink, I don't know, I don't know. I'm proud either way. So, I made an interesting discovery today that I thought I would share. Today I asked my inner child if she wanted to drive, take the helm, and she said yes, as she always does. Always. She always says yes. I have yet to ask her, and she's been like, no, I don't really want to do anything. That's yet to have happened. But I asked her, and she said yes, and I was like, what are we doing today? And she said, nothing. And I was like, okay, all right, bitch. You really are, you be testing me some days with this whole we're not doing anything stuff, because I'm a momentum person. When I have momentum happening and momentum going, I do not like stopping, because when I stop, it's very difficult for me to get back on board and to do the things that I want to do. I have my door open because my roommate is actually not here. So there's a little cold coming in through the door. But anyways, she didn't want to do anything today. So I was like, okay. And I just noticed today I got progressively more, I went from being in a good mood this morning to just, as the day progressed, my mood just started to slowly tank. And then at some point I was watching a YouTube video and I was getting nothing from it. Ordinarily I would be very entertained, the jokes would be hitting, and I would be hitting the supreme ha 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 ha's. It just was not working. And I was like, what is going on? And my moods tanked so hard to the point where I was texting my best friend, and I was literally sitting there crying, and I was like, what is going on? What is going on? What is happening? So she was talking to me, being so loving and amazing, and giving me the space to kind of vent about various things happening in my life right now. Nothing bad. It's just, I felt like it was just like a random hard day, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. So I told her, I was like, listen, I'm gonna go hop in the shower because this is something that I do. If I'm like overstimulated, hot shower. If I'm tired, hot shower. If I'm too excited, hot shower. Like a hot shower for me is kind of the reset for everything. So I go in there to take a shower, and that's usually where I converse with my spirit, you know, with my inner child. It's usually where I start, you know, I meditate and I think and I ponder on all of the universal questions and the questions that I have. And I said, why is this happening? And Spirit said, I want you to go back in your text conversation that you had with your best friend, and search for the last time that you tanked this hard. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, look for that text thread. You remember what you texted her. So go into the search bar of the text messages and type it in and see how long ago that was. And I did exactly that. When I got out of the shower, I felt better. I like lotioned. I put my perfume on. I like smell good at night. So, or my oils rather, my smell good oils that I like. And I looked, and it was a week ago yesterday that my mood just got progressively worse. And I was like, interesting. Because my sense of time has been completely fucked up. It's been completely messed up. I don't know what's happening, but as the days are passing, I'm getting confused on what happened every day. I'm getting confused on what the days are, what happened every day, and probably scarier, like, I'm not sure what milestone moments have happened at what point, which has never been the case. So I was like, what is happening with me? What is going on? So my bestie was like, could this be a symptom of like an ascension moment? And so spiritually, when we start going through like our ascension moments is when we start having realizations, and we kind of get uncomfortable because your spirit is growing. Essentially, your spirit is elevating to a different place. So it's like, ooh, both ears are ringing. So apparently I need to pay attention to what I'm saying right now. Usually, when people are having like ascension moments, their spirit is growing past a certain point, and it's a point that you've never been at before, which is why it's uncomfortable. Some of the signs of this type of ascension are headaches. You're far sleepier than you usually are, randomly out of nowhere for no reason. So let's see, headaches, the lack of sleep. Another one is increased irritation with injustices and with things that are happening, especially if you've not been a person who's been so passionate about it. You randomly get passionate about the injustices happening in the world. What's another one? Another one is your sleep schedule randomly gets fucked up. Another one is that you desire to eat healthier things, and again, it's like, it seems really random. That's why, like, that's how you can tell that it's kind of like an ascension situation, is because it seems really random out of nowhere. And so she was like, well, what do you think? And when I looked up some of the symptoms of that, mood swings is a big one. And I know a lot of people could be like, well, that could just be your hormones. Well, everything could just be our hormones. And also, by the way, those who are male also have hormones. So the fact that that's only ever been put on women is hilarious to me, because men be just as moody as we are. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. They're like, a woman can't be president because she has her period and she launches nuclear warheads. I'm like, but men been doing that already. So what do you mean? They get pissy because somebody don't like them, and that's what they be doing. So it's like, listen, we're all temperamental, okay? Everybody temperamental. Everybody emotional. It is what it is. But anywho, I was like, okay, that's really interesting. So as I started to reflect back, and I started to look back through messages and stuff, and I realized that I have had a mood swing at the same time every week. It's the same day. Every week I have, or not the same day, but it's like the same like 2 or 3 days where I have a mood swing. I cry. Like, I cry, not around everybody else, but I cry privately. And then after I cry, I'm good for another 7 days. So that's been really weird. I don't know if anybody watching this video has been going through that. You're not alone. It's the weirdest fucking thing, I can assure you. But it was interesting because I was like, I just really am spiraling. Like, I'm spiraling, and what did I say? I told her that I was spiraling, and I just didn't feel good. And she said, "Who told you that you couldn't spiral and that you couldn't not feel good?" And I was like, "Well," and she was like, "When you were a kid," 10 minutes and 10 seconds as I'm saying this, my love, I feel you. She asked me, when you were a kid, did you feel safe to exhibit negative emotions? And the truth of the matter is no. When I was growing up, vulnerability moment, when I was growing up, any emotion that made my parents uncomfortable or the adults around me uncomfortable, such as sadness, irritation, confusion, like, I don't know if confusion is an emotion, but any emotion that wasn't joy and constant gratitude was punished. Either it would be like verbal punishment where it's like, why are you being this way? Like, just be better. Like, bro, suck it up. Like, it's not that deep. Like, you're being dramatic. Or it was like punishments of, oh, well, since you're being extra, you don't get X, Y, and Z. It was quite the list. And that was how I was raised. And this was before, my parents started looking at how they, raised me and my siblings. 11 minutes and 11 seconds as I'm saying this. So this is important for somebody to hear right now. Even though now I'm good with my parents, now they've apologized, we're doing a lot of great work, it doesn't erase the kind of reaction that I still have to my own emotions at times. And sometimes when I have bad emotions, I'm like, I just wish I could turn it off. I just wish I could turn my emotions off, because they really do be getting in the way. Like, I'll be having a good run. So like last week, or this previous week that I just finished living in, has been an amazing week. Like, Tuesday I streamed, Wednesday I did a post, Thursday I streamed. Like, it was a really good week. I was able to, on Monday of last week, I was able to spend some time with my sister and like get out of the house. Like, it was a really good week to be doing stuff. So I was like, if everything's going well, why do these random bouts of sadness occur? And in my last video, I talked about 12 minutes and 12 seconds as I'm saying this. In my last video, I talked about ADHD and RSD, and how important it is, if you have either of those things or both of those things, it's incredibly important that you start researching those things in a way that you can effectively explain it and show it to future friends, to partners, to people who are going to be in close proximity to you, who those things could affect. Because 100%, if you have ADHD, even if you have figured out a way to work with it in your life, even if you have figured out coping mechanisms, other people in your life, if there's a possibility that they will be confused by your actions, that is important for them to know on some level. It's important, So for me, one of the things that I started like dabbling into is just autism in general, because again, there are things that happen in my own life that lead me to believe that I may be autistic. And it's just crazy, because it's like I have had kind of the mentality of, if I don't think about it, then it doesn't exist. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. But I definitely I guess I've had this happen at least once a week. And it hasn't felt like once a week, because from day 1 to day 3 feels like a month. I don't know what's happening with my, what is the term? Not awareness, not tracking, not recollection, not recording. I have to go down the list of things I'm not trying to say. It's not awareness. What is the term I'm looking for? I guess we could use awareness, even though that's not the word I want to use. There's another word I want to use, but just my recollection. That was 100% better than an orgasm, friends. The ability, when you have something on the tip of your tongue, pause, it's amazing for that to come out. So, I'm very happy. My recollection of things that are happening from day 1 to day 3 is garbage. I don't know what's happening with that. I'm very confused. But See, I spent all that time trying to think of the word and forgot what I was saying. Poodoo. But yeah, so I've been kind of going through it, and I was saying I haven't felt like the days where I haven't been feeling good, 15 minutes and 15 seconds as I'm saying this, I haven't really felt like it's been so like consistent. Like 6 days breakdown, 6 days sadness, 6 days depressive episode. I did not realize that it was happening in like a cycle, which is really weird, like a quick cycle. And I've seen spiritual videos from people where they're saying, if this is how you're feeling right now, it's because things are actually breaking through. You've been maintaining a different like mental state. You've been you've been working on your spirit and everything, and things are pushing through. And because you've never been here before, it's going to feel different. I am inclined to believe this because I feel like I'm in uncharted territory. I really do. Like, I've never been so happy doing the things that I'm doing while simultaneously being like a little concerned about the future, but then also not really caring what the future holds because I feel so good right now. So then to feel that way and then to have a day where I'm just not feeling good, I told my best friend, I was like, I just don't like it. So she asked me about my childhood and I told her, and I said, so now when I don't feel good, I have to fight back the urge to fill the space. Because ordinarily, historically, when I haven't felt good, I would turn to alcohol I would turn to alcohol and I would throw myself into any work that I was doing. I would go into work an hour early. I was the type of person who would go into work an hour early, and I would occasionally work off the clock because the timekeepers at my jobs would be like, hey, yo, you can't come in and work so early because then you're having to leave early and business hours and all of that bullshit. So what I would do, because I needed to work, I needed to not have any empty space up here, I would go and I would work off the clock. And then I would clock in when it was an appropriate time, and I would just work. And I would just be like, who needs me to do something else? I have always been like a workhorse. Like I've not liked relaxing and chilling. Like it's been very difficult historically for me to deal with. So now when I have days where I'm just, my inner child is like, relax, do nothing, I'm like, what do you mean? Because on those days I don't feel like coloring, I don't feel like going for a walk, I don't feel like building anything. Like I just feel like sitting. Like for hours I'll just sit there. I'll want to do a tarot card or an oracle card pull, but I'm not moved to. I'll want to watch spiritual videos, or I'll want to study something, or I'll want to read up on like ADHD and autism and stuff like that, and I was not moved to do any of that today. I wasn't even really moved to watch funny videos. I was just moved to just exist. And it's such a difficult ask of myself at times, because I literally will get in my own way and try to block. Because that's how my brain was trained. So breaking through that can be a toughie. So I had my little cry earlier today, and after that I started to feel better, and my appetite was a bit different. Usually I will eat like a certain amount of food, but I ate a lot today. I just was like, whatever is edible, I'm eating it. Like, it was the weirdest thing. These are not typically symptoms that are associated with that time of the month for me. So, it could be a lot of different things. I know a lot of healthcare people might be like, you need to check for this, but I really just think it was just another day where the rest was hard to do. Excuse me. Everybody chill. I keep hearing little creaks and stuff in the room, and I'm like, my sister's not here, so I know my dad's asleep, mom's out of town, sister's out of town, so it's just me here. But yeah, so it was one of those days, and I was like, I really do wish I could just turn off my emotions. I wish I could just not feel the depressive episode of, I just don't want to get up. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can bring myself to do anything except just lie here. And I told my friend, vulnerability all over here. It sucks because for me, frequently in my life, I've felt like a prisoner in my own body. So, like, I know mentally what I need to do a lot of the time. And ordinarily, I can do it. I'm usually very optimistic. I'm very energized. I'm very, let's get things done. You know, I'll have friends who are going through it, and I'm there, listening ear, shoulder to cry on, lap to lie in, face ass. But then there are some days where it's as if somebody, like, hooked up, like, a vacuum hose to my back and just turned on the reverse button because all of the energy is just gone. And then during those times, like, I literally feel my mood tanking and I can't do anything to stop it. Listening to music doesn't help. Watching things doesn't. All of the usual things I do don't help. And I've tried so many different things, which is part of the reason I was like, at some point I would like to see about being diagnosed, or assessed. But the thing is that autism and ADHD in particular are very hard. For those of you that don't know, they're very difficult to diagnose in women, especially women who are older. Because what essentially is happening is the behavior, even though you're saying this is how I feel, 21 minutes and 21 seconds as I'm saying this, even though you're telling the neurologist that this is how you feel, a lot of women have found ways to work around all of those issues. So it's much harder to see it in women because it's like, well, you don't have trouble keeping eye contact. Well, not all autistic people have trouble maintaining eye contact. Not all autistic people, are, I don't know. I haven't done enough research, so I don't want to super duper speak on it. But it's just one of those things where it's like I'm constantly in between, like, I'm powerful, I'm amazing, I have the spiritual ability, just like y'all do. Excuse me. To beat this. But then today my dad made a valid point. My dad is in his mid-50s. And he said to me, he said, you know why I'm very excited for, like, when I'm gonna go and talk to, like, a neurologist and stuff about, what's going on with me mentally. And I was like, why? And he said, because for me, I'm not broken. Like, I know I'm not broken. But I do know that there are certain mental challenges that I have. And I've always had them. I just am now giving myself the go-ahead to help myself. Instead of saying, this isn't a problem, it doesn't exist, because it's been existing this whole time. Since I was born, so what, 35, 36 years at least of this man's life, he has had the same, like, mental struggles, a lot of the same mental struggles that I have, actually. So, he was like, it's not bad to feel bad. It's not bad to have depressive episodes. It's treated as though it's bad because of the fact that that's not the average experience. So experiencing emotions that don't feel good, 23 minutes and 23 seconds as I'm saying this, lucky number, a lot of us run from not feeling good. And I think I've said this in a video before where it's like getting to a point where you can be compassionate and patient with yourself and allow yourself to feel those not so great feeling emotions, just like how you allow yourself to feel happiness, joy, euphoria, yada, yada, yada. It's so important and crucial. And so at some point today, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna allow myself to not feel good. And I know for those of you who've been with me for a long time, you've seen at least 3 other videos that I've done in the past 2 months where I have struggled emotionally and where I keep coming to the realizing that I just need to allow myself to feel my feelings. But when I tell you old habits die hard, they really do. Something that really helped was that there was a stream happening this evening that I watched, a video game stream, and it was really cool because I was able to kind of just doze as I was listening to that. But something interesting that happened is the person who was playing, he started to get really down and really sad. It was a person I watch all the time. It was Pezzy, and he was trying to do something in the video game he was playing, and he had been, for hours, this man had been trying to, like, reload the game and, like, do this particular run a certain way, and nothing was lining up. And then it lined up, and he made a mistake that cost him a really important run in this game. And his mood tanked immediately. And he was like, I was already tired. And then I had that opportunity. I was hoping for that opportunity. It popped up because it's a random situation that's not always promised. And I messed it up. Shot the bed. And it was interesting to see somebody else who has thousands upon thousands of followers and who is, you know, what some people would say in a position where, like, he knows what he wants out of life, and he's 25 minutes and 25 seconds as I'm saying this. So those of you who are watching people who you admire or who you look up to and you're seeing them do all this stuff, they also have these bad days. They also get taken out when shit happens that was not planned or when plans have changed. And it was so interesting because I wasn't feeling good, and then he wasn't feeling good, and there was something really nice about not feeling good with somebody else. It kind of reminded me of that scene. If you haven't seen Inside Out, spoilers for the first one, I have not seen the second one, but in Inside Out, sadness is treated as kind of this pariah by joy, which is the main emotion in this little girl's head. You know, this is a children's cartoon, so everybody's a little cartoon. And sadness is constantly placed, like she's constantly isolated, because joy believes that sadness fucks everything up, essentially. And then at some point in the story, they are talking to another aspect of this little girl's mind, her mental psyche. And sadness steps in and just kind of sits with that portion of this little girl's brain. And this particular character in the story is sad. And sadness is like, that's really sad, isn't it? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, I bet that sucks. And joy is like, sadness, what are you doing? Like, we're trying to get him to not be sad. We want him to feel better. What the fuck? But in that moment, sadness then says, I bet you had a lot of positive memories about this historic time, you know, with this little girl, because the creature was the girl's imaginary friend that was in her mind. And he starts reminiscing, and joy comes from it. And Joy is confused. Joy is like, what just happened? Like, sadness was able to beget positive feelings? The fuck? And I feel like today I realized internally in my space what that felt like. 27 minutes and 27 seconds as I say that. Because I've done it. Like, when other people have been sad or upset or they've been going through it, I will sit with them. And there have been times where I've had people sit with me. But I think because of where I am at this particular point in my life, it was really impactful to be there, to be experiencing what I would call a depressive episode, like, or depressive tendencies. Because again, I'm not diagnosed with anything, but I'm sitting there experiencing that. And then for this guy that I'm watching to also be experiencing that, I was like, wow. So this really is like a universal experience. Like, some people, like a lot of people feel this way at random times. Some people feel this way all the time, which is why they have to go be diagnosed and they've got to get something for it, because I can't imagine being where I've been today every day. Like, I'd have to do something, bro. But it was nice to be sat with, even though he's just playing video games in his room somewhere in the world. It was really pleasant. And these are little things that I think that happen in our lives that we miss when we are trying to focus on the future and we're trying to receive things. Y'all, I ate so much today, and it is almost 3 a.m. and I'm so tempted to go in that kitchen and eat something, even though I've already brushed my teeth. Like, usually when I brush my teeth, that's my sign to my body we're not eating anything else. And it's already late, and the later that I eat, I know it's gonna sit on me. So I'm really trying to not pause this video and go into the kitchen and get food. But yeah, that was really interesting today. I really enjoyed it. I was a very happy camper or not a happy camper, but a content camper to experience that. And then as the stream went on, it went on for a couple more hours after that. People in the chat were making jokes, and I was able to join in on some of the jokes, and, you know, his mood kind of lifted a little bit as people were joking, and I was like, so it really is just about experiencing your emotions in every moment that you're in. It's like, if you're mad about something, just be mad. Allow the emotion to happen. Give it the respect of existing. Give it the respect and the time that it needs in order to pass through. The danger, I think, is when we hold on to emotions. We just hold on to it like this and we don't want to let it go. But I think when you experience your emotions, you do yourself a service. You know, it's like flushing out your system on an emotional and energetic level. So that was really cool. That was really cool. That was really dope. Side note, if any of you saw any of my other videos and you were like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get the jewelry that you got, and I saw your glasses chains that you wore that one time, like I'm trying to get in on it, hold your horses. Bestie is rebranding, so she's not accepting any orders at this time, but I will let you all know. Those of you who are interested in the jewelry that I wear, if you're interested in the glasses chains, because sometimes I'll be wearing them in videos and stuff, if you see them and you're like, I want those, I will let you know when the shop is open again. If that is, you know, what you're looking to do. You're looking to get and have in your personal space. But yeah, it was one of those days, and it was really cool that there were less people in the apartment here. It was like the universe literally lined everything up so that I could feel this way without having to take care of other people's emotions. Because everybody in my immediate family who I live with right now is going through stuff. Every single one of them. They're going through things. So every day, there's the want to tell me what's happening. There's the want to vent to me. There's the want to be like, hey, can I share this with you? And I am usually going to say yes, because it's one of my favorite things is conversations. It's knowing what's happening in the people's lives around me. And sometimes I'm not the best at being like, hey man, I just don't have it mentally to lock on to anything heavy that you're dealing with. So if you are going to be talking to me about heavy stuff, just know I'm probably not going to respond. I'm probably not going to hold on to it super long because I just don't have it in me right now. But yeah, I'm trying to get better at communication, y'all. I really am. It is difficult because everything makes sense in my head, and then as soon as I start trying to explain it to other people, I'll be over-explaining. And then people hit me with the, well, I didn't really need all that information. And I'm like, well, I gave it to you because I don't like being asked questions once I've finished talking. You know, repeating myself is not as fun as you would think. And so I try to give everybody everything when I first talk to them. And what it means is I end up over-explaining myself in a lot of cases. So I'm working on... Excuse me. So I'm working on dialing that back. But yeah, man. So it was a rough day. If it was a rough day for you, I feel you. I'm right there with you. If at the time that you are watching this... Oh yes, happy February 23rd. 23 is my lucky number. So I hope that tomorrow, or I guess later today, is a good day. It's a happy day. I hope that some fun luck stuff happens. But your girl is actually very, very tired. So I ordinarily try to wait and see what else I have. But as I sit here, I'm struggling to keep my eyes open. So I think I'm going to call it. Ooh, 33 minutes and 33 seconds as I'm saying this. I think I'm going to call it for this evening. That's how my day went. Other than those realizations, nothing else happened. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here as I go through all of my shit, as I'm processing everything. For those of you who are following me and you're following my Twitch stuff, at the time that you're seeing this, if it happens to be Sunday when you're seeing this, I plan to stream on Tuesday. And then I also plan to stream on Thursday. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Because my roommate, I don't know what her class schedule and all that stuff looks like, so I gotta check with her. But anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being patient with me as I communicate and as I'm trying to get through stuff. I love you guys so much, and I will holler at you in tomorrow night's video. I guess I will end this. I'll put like a bow on it by saying, feel your emotions. Allow every emotion that you have a spot on the stage, because every emotion is here to teach you something. Every emotion is here to help you through something. It'll help you process something. This is the nature of the human experience. So if there are any particular emotions that you have been dealing with, or that you're gonna deal with, or that you're dealing with right now, don't try to run from them. This is not Vampire Diaries where you can turn off your humanity. I know a lot of you wish that you could do that, and I oftentimes wish that I could do that, but that's not how it works. And feeling things is so important, because you can't turn off the negative emotions and then also be able to feel all of the positive ones. You gotta have both. It's gotta be a fine balance. But anyways, that's all I have for you all tonight. I love you so much. I'm gonna go get in bed, because I actually was up all night last night. That's probably another reason why I'm tired, is because I was up to help my sister. She didn't need my help, but I helped her, like, with reminding her, like, the dryer's done, you gotta wash clothes because you gotta leave at 6 a.m. because she had to leave super early this morning to head out on her little trip. I'm not gonna eat anything. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Love on yourself. Drink water. You know, if you've never lotioned a day in your life, look into that. Lotion will change your life, bruh. Keeps your skin all supple, nice and tight. Yeah. Drink some tea on me. Please have some nice hot tea on my behalf. And get some sleep. Get some sleep. Again, now is the time where you need to be in the place of receiving and in the place of resting. And a lot of us are being forced to rest randomly out of nowhere. So you're not alone. 36 minutes and 36 seconds as I'm saying this. So you got this. Alrighty? We did it. We got through another video. I love you guys so much, and I will holler at you tomorrow night. Mwah. Bye.